Hold up.
So this haircut is pretty much like a shadow fading to the top, leaving the top length alone. And then we're going to taper out the sides and the back. And quick plug-in, Headlines Barbershop. We're in 3 locations. We just opened up our 3rd spot. Come check us out. Download the app in your app market. And let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the 1A detachable blade. It doesn't matter what brands you use. You can use Andes, you can use Osters. They all work for all detachable clippers. They're all universal. The 1A blade is pretty much equivalent to like my Andes #1 guard close. Alright, just so you get an idea. We're going to do this all the way around. This is how we're going to start the haircut. Now I'm going to do the fade into the top with all detachable blades, and then when I start blending out the temple taper, the taper, I'm going to use the walls. Alright, so we're going to go right into the 1.5 detachable blade. The 1A blade, it goes, the next step after that is the 1.5 blade. And it's worked out really good for me. In my experience, I haven't had a problem with blending these 2 blades together. And if you do have any lines or anything like that, you'll see later on that I do go back with the 1A blade, use the corners of it just to clean it up a bit. But for the most part, it does go step to step, and that's what I like about detachable blades. There's no lever involved, but if you have the right blades, they'll blend into one another. Like right here, I went back with the 1A blade, and now I'm touching it up. Alright, so let's move on to the #2 blade, and that's the next step after the 1.5 blade. And between each blade, I'm probably going up about a ½ inch, maybe a little bit less. We're gonna do this all the way around, and I'm going sideways because his hair grows sideways, so I want to go against the grain. His hair is growing towards the left because of his cowlick, so I'm gonna go to the right, attacking it against the grain. And please guys, I know you see the title. The title says something about Russell Westbrook. I'm not saying this is the Russell Westbrook haircut, the exact one. I'm saying that, you know, the client resembles him a little bit, and the haircut resembles it a little bit too. So don't crucify me because of that. Alright, so let's go move on to the 3.5 detachable blade. That's the next step after the #2. And one thing you'll see that's kind of an inconsistency is like you go from 2 to the 3.5. There's such a big difference. Detachable blades are a little bit different. A 3.5 blade is pretty much equivalent to a #3. #2 is equivalent to like a #2. A 1A blade is equivalent to like a #1. They're different. You gotta go and look at the chart for yourself and match up your numbers. So let's go ahead and start doing the first guideline for the taper. We're using the wall balding clipper to bald him out. And yes, this is a bald taper. And what I like to do in the back is I like to go halfway up between the bottom of the ear and where his neckline starts. Okay, so let's go on with the 5-star seniors, and I got my blade all the way open. I'm going up about a ½ inch to an inch, right? More like a ½ inch. And we're gonna start taking out that first guideline with the walls all the way closed. Now as I go up towards the next guideline, I'm opening it up about a quarter. So I go with the 0 all the way closed, right? The blade all the way closed, go up a little bit, then I open up the lever or the blade about a quarter open, then I open it up about a halfway open, then I open it up about 3/4 open, and we're pretty much blended by the time we get to that next guideline. Now to get rid of that other guideline that we created with the blade all the way open, I have my gray half guard. I'm going to start from the closed position, and I'm going to do the same steps, going up, opening it about a quarter of the way as I go up, and by the time I get to the blade being all the way open with the half guard on it, it'll pretty much be blended into the 1A blade. And we're going to do the same steps all the way around. Again, right here, this is the half blade all the way open, or I'm sorry, the walls blade all the way open. And in the back, you can go up higher than you do on the sides because you got a lot more room. So here is definitely about an inch up. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start from the blade close and work our way up to the next guideline. opening it about a quarter of the way every time we go up, and by the time we get to that next guideline, we should be about 3/4 of the way open, and it should be pretty much blended. And the next step after that would be the gray half guard, doing the same step. I would say the gray half guard is kind of like using the number 0 guard on the Andes. It might not be the exact same thing, but it's pretty much the same, in my opinion. And I go back and detail my work. Like if I check it in the mirror, that's kind of like the rough draft, and then I go back and I detail. You guys know that by now. It takes another minute or two to do this, guys. Doesn't take a lot of time. You know, people always want to be in such a rush and get the haircut done. Take an extra minute or two and detail your cut. I'm gonna do the same steps I did previously on this side of the table. And when you detail, you can use the corners of the blade. You can go with the grain to smooth things out. There's all kinds of techniques you can do with that. And you know, repetition is key, guys. Try the haircuts out, rep it out, and try these techniques for yourself. And you know, watching YouTube videos is only gonna do so much. You gotta take action and practice these techniques that you're learning in the videos, whether it be my videos or somebody else's. I use a brush when I'm blending. Alright, so right here I'm using the number 1 guard, the black number 1 guard, which is equivalent to the 1/8. And I'm gonna lower down his beard. His beard has calyx all over, so if you see me going all kinds of different directions with my strokes, because he's got calyx on his beard, big time. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend the beard in. You can consult with your client. You can ask him if he wants to blend it in, if he wants it to go to a point, whatever he might want. And the blending technique is the same exact technique, except instead of going you're going the opposite direction as you're blending. And I'll show you. I'll kind of show you some more into that. Get deeper into that right here. Alright, so I got the number 1 guard there. Now, you can start from the half, from no guard, blade all the way open, and close it as you go up into the bald area, and that should blend it right out. Like I said, man, if I see anything that I might not caught before, the human eye can be deceiving sometimes. You might see something in the mirror. I will go up. I'll take a few seconds to pick up that clipper and fix that demarcation. And again, the mustache area is coarser than the rest of the beard, so I'll go a little bit lower on the mustache area, and it'll look like it's the same length as the beard. And when I'm doing the neckline, I like to tilt the client's head a little bit to the opposite side of where I'm facing, and that helps stretch the skin in the neck area, and it helps me get a nice close sharp line without irritating the client's neck or skin. Like I said before, don't push this too much. Don't push this too much. Keep that part of the beard natural as possible. When I do the top part of the beard, for the most part with my clients, I just do it quickly because it's kind of like my quick draft. I do a lot of detailing with the razor. I know some barbers they do most of their detailing with the trimmers, and then they just go with the razor just to clean it up. Whereas I do the clean, like a quick trim with the trimmers, and then I'll do most of my detail with the razor. It's just a preference thing. There's a lot of these techniques that I'm teaching you guys. It's not, it's not by the book, or it's not engraved anywhere. It's not you don't have to do it this way. A lot of this is preference, man, and it's techniques that I've picked up over the years that I feel have made me more comfortable cutting hair, more confident cutting hair. So, like I said, use repetition and try it out for yourself. And some of these techniques might not be for you, but if you're commenting and you're saying, no, you're doing this wrong, there's no wrong way to do it. Yeah, as long as the final product comes out the way you want it to, or the way your client wants it to. I guess that's just my stance on it. Finger for stability, place it on the surface of their face, because if you don't have any stability, you try to do it without placing your index finger anywhere, it's kind of like trying to walk on a tightrope. It's a lot of balance involved, and you're gonna have a higher tendency of messing somebody up or not having a nice crisp line. Right here I'm just doing the lip line, cleaning it up. In the chin area, top of the mustache right here, and consult with your client. Ask them how thin or how thick they want their mustache. Right here, I'm just I'm lowering the baby hairs a little bit, or the hairline hairs a little bit, so that when I line it up, it looks a little bit crispier. Because the hair will tend to lay down a little bit better in the hairline area as you lower it. Let me explain something real quick with the hairline. I've said previously that I attack the highest point or the most receding point of my client's hairline first. And here's why. When I first started in the past, I would just go where I just start wherever. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a blueprint. And sometimes I would start at the most receding part, not noticing or not paying attention to the rest of the hairline. And I would line up that receding part as if it was, I just want to make that thing crispy, right? So it might not have been pushing it back, but because it was receding and I was trying to get a real crisp line, when I would go back to the other part of his hairline, I would notice that I would have to push the rest of his hairline up so high just to get it to where that receding part is, so that his hairline wouldn't look slanted. So now what I do is I go to the most receding part. I keep it as natural as possible. I don't push it up, and then the rest of it, I try to make it match as best as I can. But by doing this, I avoid what I used to do, and having to push the rest of it way too high up, so that it would match with my mistake that I did with the receding parts, if that makes sense to you. Alright, so with the jawline, I asked them how high they want it, how low they want their jawline, and I'll start from the middle as my guideline, like I did in this clip, and then I'll go out and kind of use the middle of the jawline as my guideline to match it. Then I'll face them towards the mirror, make sure both sides are even with one another, and then fix anything that I may have messed up and not gotten perfectly, but not gotten good enough. This is my Andy shaver. Use a shaver for the neck, especially people with curly hair, because I don't want to bump them up on the neckline. I won't really use the razor there. And right here I'm applying the shave gel. I'm not gonna say in specific brands anymore, as long as you're using a clear shave gel and you can see what you're doing. You know, not all shave gels are the same quality. Some of them are a little too soapy. Just get one that you like, one that you prefer, and use it. Now, before I start touching my clients' faces and stuff, I do clean my hands. I make sure that they see that I put sanitizer in my hands, and that makes them feel comfortable, and I feel comfortable too. But you're gonna have to use your hands because you gotta stretch that skin out. Just make sure your hands are clean, that your clients know that your hands are clean. And I use the tip of the razor, the head of the razor to do my detail work. Sometimes I use the heel of the razor, and I wipe off any excess debris so it's not making any false lines, false beard lines. Because a lot of times, you know, especially when you use a lot of shave gel, it'll create a false line. You wipe it, and you got something way different than what you thought you had there, hiding underneath all that debris. The mustache area, make sure you have a good amount of shave gel to make it more comfortable for the client. And I just use a push to open razor handle. And the blades I use, I'll use Dorico, or I prefer Persona. Persona's the best to me, in my opinion. Love Persona blades. And I've tried everything, man. I've tried all kinds of blades. Shave and try to get against the grain as much as you can. If you have to recline your client to get that against the grain shave, then do so. And right here, I'm just checking the mirror. I'm making sure both sides of his beard are even, and you know, one side ain't slanted more than the other, one side ain't curving more than the other. And the way I do that is I check in the mirror. So here I'm gonna comb out his hair, and I'm just gonna cut it with the scissors, with the shears, just to get the loose ends, because I'm gonna curl him up anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfectly even. But I'm just getting all the loose ends that are just the scragglies, pretty much, I like to call them. Alright, so he wants a part, so you know, let's go ahead and do the part. And obviously I asked him how he wanted it. He explained it to me, and we're giving the client what they want. By the way, if you guys are wondering what that like hose is, it's compressed air. It's my air compressor, and it sprays air and kind of cleans off hair debris that's on his face and stuff. As you see, I'm pulling away the hair. I'm parting it with my hands. That way I can get a clear view of the part. So now that I'm passing my razor, no hair gets in the way, and I can see it clearly. Like I've said in the past, I'll go back, and if I see bulk, I'll go back and I'll take a minute to clean that up. It's worth the extra time. Clients will appreciate it, and you'll see your retention rate will go up. So right here I'm wetting the hair because water tends to, get hair to curl more. I'm gonna start sponging his hair in clockwise motions. You can go counterclockwise if you want, whatever you want to do. Right here I'm applying some black roller gel, just a light amount, not a lot. You don't need to just put some hold in there, and I'll go back and I'll do it one more time, and that's what it looks like after I style it. Putting alcohol or aftershave, being sanitary. He's sanitary barbers, and he likes it. He likes the cut, so that makes me feel good. And that's it, guys. That's the cut. Hopefully you guys liked it. I thank you guys for watching it. You can support the channel real simply by subscribing, by sharing this to your barber brothers or sisters. Like it and comment, and like. Music credit goes to the Chaotix. Like it.